Welcome back. This is the third lesson recording for IM1, May 18th, 2021. So we have just stated the congruence for angle C is congruent to angle D. And then if that is the case, they're going to have the same measure. So angle C has 39 degrees, so Y has to be 39 degrees. Now let's go on to number 2. Okay, again, do not rely on the visual, rely on the congruence statement that you are taught. So here we have 5x. 5x is referring to this side length here. Okay, so it's referring to the length of this triangle side of the triangle EH. So we are dealing with EH, side length EH is congruent to what? Okay, to figure out this, we need to figure out what is EH congruent to. EH is the first two letters of the congruent statement of the right triangle, so it's going to be congruent to ED, first two letters there. That means ED, E and EH are going to be same measure. So I am going to write ED with a line over it to say that we're talking about the two sides. And now we are going to write an equation that equates, if these two sides are congruent, that means the side length are going to be congruent. So we have 10 on the left hand triangle is equal to 5x on the right hand triangle. And then from here I can divide both sides by 5, because 5x means 5 is being multiplied to x, and then you are left with, this goes away and you're left with x on the right hand side. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I have figured out what the value of x is. That was easy. Alright, and that was part C. Alright, then what about triangle CBA is congruent to FJM? That's what the information we're given, and we are given more of an expression, not just a variable, but expressions containing the variable x and variable y. Just in case you cannot see this very well, it says 2x plus 4 here, and this says 3y minus 5. Okay, so now let's go with what we have, and I am going to clearly label this as J just in case you cannot see, and F here. Alright, so let's go with what we are taught. Okay, so let's start with the angle 2x plus 4. 2x plus 4, we're talking about the angle measure of J. What does angle J correspond to in the other congruence, or in the other triangle? It's the middle letter, so it corresponds to, J corresponds to B. J and B are going to be same measure. Okay, J and B are going to be exactly the same measure. So I'm going to start by writing angle B and angle J are congruent. If they are congruent, then the measure is going to be the same. Here I have a measure of 106 on the angle B is equal to, and for angle J we have an expression that says 2x plus 4. So we are equating this because they are same measure. Okay, you have just created a two-step equation here. How do we solve this? When you have an equation 2x plus 4 is equal to 106, you need to add or subtract first. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, and that leaves me with 2x is equal to 106 divided by 4 is 102. So now we're going to divide both sides by 2 to get rid of this 2, and you're left with x is equal to 51 degrees. And we're dealing with angle measure, so you want to put the measurement there, the unit of degrees. Okay, now what? Okay, so then let's go on to B. Now we're going to try to find 3y minus 5 is the expression for what is that referring to? It is this side length. The measure of this side length is 3y minus 5. What does this side length, we can call that side JF. Now JF on the right triangle, JF is the first two letters. That means we are going to be looking for BC. So BC on the bottom triangle, BC and JF, they are corresponding, so they are congruent. So where is BC? Find your BC. So we are referring to this side right there. So we are told that this length is 11 and this length is 3y minus 5. They are going to be same in measure because they are congruent. So 11 is equal to 3y minus 5. We have just set up a two-step equation and we know how to solve this. When you have an equation like this, we always add or subtract first. So minus 5. How do I get rid of minus 5? I add 5 to both sides. And that leaves me with 3y is equal to 11 plus 5 is 16. Okay? And then from there, I do see that alright, so I need to get rid of this 3. 3 is being multiplied to y. So how do I do multiply by 3? It's going to be divided by 3. And that becomes my giant one. And you're left with y is equal to 16 over 3. I'm just going to leave it in fraction form because it cannot be simplified anymore. Alright, and then last problem. Okay, so triangle LMN is congruent to triangle RTS. That's what we are taught. So we only have one variable here, and that is for the angle measure of T. So angle measure of T, and angle measure of T is 2x plus 30. Okay, so T on the right triangle, vertex T, is corresponds to angle M. Vertex T and vertex M correspond to each other because they are the two middle letters. So then I know that this angle is congruent to this angle. Alright, but we don't know what angle M is. Well, at least we're not taught directly, but can we figure it out? Okay, what is that going to be? Well, I know that I am given two different angles of this triangle. That means, can we figure out what this angle is? Yes, because I can use triangle angle sum. Whatever this angle is, plus this angle, they need to add to 180 degrees. So I can subtract 180, take away 55, and take away another 65. That's like taking away 120 because 55 plus 65 is 120. 180 minus 120 is 60 degrees. So I have just figured out this is 60 degrees. Okay, now that I have figured out that this is 60 degrees, then I can use the equation. Okay, the first part was we did say that angle T, angle M, is congruent to angle T. And then second part is coming up with the equation that says equates the angle measure of 60 is equal to 2x plus 30 because that's what we are taught. And from here, I add and subtract first. I subtract 30 from both sides. And that leaves me with 60 minus 30 is 30 on the left hand side is equal to 2x. Then I divide both sides by 2. And that leaves me with x is equal to 15, and I am done. That's it for today. So please enter in the table of content what we did. We used triangle congruence. Thank you for listening.